Hello, welcome into JBar Travel. How can I help you today? Looking to plan a trip, all right. And are you wanting to do that today or are you wanting to schedule an appointment for a later time? Today. Okay, great. Well, I can definitely help you with that. I am totally free. I don't have any more appointments for the rest of today, so we can go ahead and get started if that's okay with you. Awesome. So, first, let me just go ahead. You've never been here before, right? Okay, great. So, then let me go ahead and get you in the system. Give me just a second to pull this up. All right, so let me just go ahead and get your contact info and all of that so that we are able to speak further in the future if you do decide that you want to move forward with us, okay? Awesome. So can I just go ahead and get your first and last name? All right. And your email address? Great. And your phone number? Perfect. And then your address. City. Okay. And zip code, please. Awesome. All right. You are all put into our system. I'm Jessie, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I can be here to help you with anything you need today. So let's go ahead and get started. Do you have any particular places in mind? Are you looking at, are you just kind of looking for recommendations, or do you have a specific place? Looking for recommendations. Okay, perfect. And I'll just be like writing some of these things down as we go, and then looking up anything that I need to start finding things for you on my computer. So, looking for recommendations. All right. So, I'm just going to be asking you some questions to get a better idea of some places that would be a good fit for you. So, firstly, are you looking for international travel or are you wanting to stay within the US? International, okay. Great. And do you have a passport for that? Okay, perfect. Are you more looking for like beach, mountains, the city, or are you kind of open to any of them? Okay. No city. So wanting to do maybe more like sightseeing, like you want to be able to see like lots of different places and maybe some adventure type things. Okay, so more sightseeing and adventure. Perfect. about like leisure? Are you looking to, like, if you were to say beach, are you looking to like relax on the beach and just kind of chill and not really do much? Or you're really more wanting to stick with the like going and seeing things and exploring and maybe doing a few adventure activities? Okay, so wanting to do more on this trip. Okay, great. Do and see more. Perfect. How long are you wanting to stay? Okay, so like a week. Okay. And how many people? This is like a family trip or like a couple or group of friends? Just you and your partner. Okay. Perfect. And when are you planning to go? Are you going soon? Like what season are you going for? You want to go very soon. Okay. So like maybe mid to late September early, or like a little bit later than that? Like in September. Okay. Okay. And do you have a budget for this trip? Okay, perfect. And that's like in general for the both of you, or like each? Okay. Perfect. Let me think if there's anything else. Do you like, I know we said adventure activities, but do you like things like, is there anything that's off limits? Nothing is off limits. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. So let me just, I have a few places in mind. So I'm just gonna look up a couple things real quick. Just to make sure that this would be a good fit. Looking at the time of the year. All right, I think this one's going to be a good fit, but let's see what you think. I can always look at something else. How do you feel about Iceland? It's on your bucket list. It's something you've wanted to do for a while. Okay, so why don't we do that one then? That sounds like a perfect fit. Good, and then in late September, you should be able to see the northern lights, and it's not going to be too cold just yet. I mean, it is, I will say, it is quite cold, so you'll have to be prepared for that. Is that something you're okay with? Okay, but during September is not too bad, and you can usually see the northern lights during that time, so that's also something people really, get excited about when they think about Iceland. If for some reason you weren't able to see the northern lights during that time, it's still an amazing trip. Iceland is, there's so many things to see and do. You're probably going to want to go back at some point, to be honest. So, but you should be able to see them. Are you feeling good about that? Is that the winner? All right, perfect. So let me just write that down. Perfect. And with the time that you said, which we said September, looking at maybe the 16th to the 22nd. Would that work for you? I know that's around when you were saying. Okay, great. Okay, so for Iceland, there's a few things to think about. One is that there is a lot to see. It is very much a sightseeing kind of place. You're just going to be traveling kind of from place to place and staying however long you want to take pictures, look at the scenery before you move on and go to another place. That's going to be a lot of what you're doing. It is possible to go, all the way around and see not everything, but a lot of what Iceland has to offer and kind of go around the whole country. That's like the full golden circle. But I would recommend if you're wanting to not have everything just packed in, so you're like feeling like you have to rush to each place. I would kind of recommend just doing like the southern side of Iceland. There's plenty to see, and then you can always go back to Iceland another time and see the rest that you didn't get to see, which I would recommend because you really want to take your time, see things, but you also want to have time to unwind, relax. That also gives you the opportunity, if you don't want to unwind and relax, you can always, add some extra things in here and there to give you more to see and do, and that gives you more flexibility. So that's what I'm going to recommend, but ultimately it is up to you and what you want to do. So how are we feeling? Just the southern side, or you want to plan like the full thing and kind of just go back to back to back? Okay, so you do want to do just the southern side and just have some time in there to relax. Okay, great. So that's going to make it easier as far as timing each day. Another thing is, again, because you will be going to a lot of places, you are going to need a rental car. It's just the way it goes. Are you okay with that? Okay, so we'll look at rental cars. Thankfully, it's just 2 of you, so we can keep the price down a bit. Iceland in general is a little bit expensive, just so you are aware, but it is totally worth it. So just keep that in mind. All right, so rental car, yes. Would you like me to book your flights as well? Okay, awesome. So we will look at that here in just a second. All right. So when it comes to accommodations, are you looking for more like Airbnbs, hotels, or like any special stays, like maybe a little cottage or something like that? In my head, just thinking, you're probably going to be doing, I would say, like 4 different stays, but we can do one of them twice just because we'll go back to Reykjavik. Reykjavik is the main town, and we're going to start there, and then we'll go back and in there. That way you can be closer to the airport. So that'll be about 4 stays, and one of them will just go back to the same one. So I can do like a combination. Would you like at least one kind of like more romantic, like special stay, like a little more secluded? Okay, perfect. So we'll do a combination of accommodations. Perfect. Great. Okay. All right, this gives me a lot of what I need. So what I'm going to do first here is let me just look at flights first. So it is looking like most of the flights, the good ones at least, that I'm seeing are overnight. So I would recommend that you actually leave on the 15th and go overnight, and then you'll arrive in Iceland on the 16th. That way you still have that day to actually do things. Otherwise, it is going to take up kind of that whole day of travel. Is that okay with you? Okay, perfect. So for that, I'm seeing one where you are leaving at 5:40 p.m. and then you will arrive in Iceland at the airport at 8:30 a.m. It does have one stop, but it's a really short stop, so it shouldn't be too bad. It is within like more your budget. I can definitely look for nonstop if you would prefer, but it will of course be quite a bit more expensive. Are you fine with that one? Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and write that down in your itinerary here. Okay, perfect. And then flight home. We've got a 7 p.m. That again is going to give you time to maybe do something else before you leave, and then it would be again an overnight flight, and you would arrive back at home at 6 a.m. And that one, I'm not seeing a stop here. Is this one okay as well? All right, great. Let me put that one in. All right. Perfect. And then rental cars. Let's see. Okay. I'm seeing, looks like some of the cheaper ones are going to be about $70 a day. Which should be fine in your budget. Again, this is something that you're gonna need. It's not really something we can do without. The only way you could really do without a rental car in Iceland is if you were going with like a group and you were doing like a tour bus kind of situation, which we're not doing. So I'll go ahead and put that in. I can always look and see if there are better prices later for that. That's not really something we have to do right this second. All right, so now basically what I'm gonna do before we meet next week is I'm just going to get the flight prices, rental car price, find accommodations in your budget, make an itinerary kind of flow, add any excursions that are still within the budget that I think you would really like. I will give you the exact price of everything next time we meet, and then you can tell me if there's anything you want to change, add, anything you don't like, and we can finalize everything and make sure it's what you want, and then I can go ahead and book all of those for you after we meet next time. Does all that sound okay? All right, awesome. Okay, so we'll just meet again next week at the same time. I have your contact information if I need to get in touch with you, and I will take everything we talked about and make a plan for you for next time. All right, it was so lovely lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming in, and I will see you next week. All right. Have a great day.